Yo, what is good? My anime faithful. What is good, yo? I apologize if you can hear me button smashing. My controller is actually doo doo, and the buttons are super loud, but the show must go on. Um, with this week's episode of DanMachi, we get a really good explanation as to where the next part of the story kind of can even go, because with anime they usually do certain things that can make you question, if they have something in the left, like if there's something in the tank that they're still hiding when so much has already not only happened, but we've gotten multiple explanations as to why certain goddesses or gods do what they do, and then, they're just being people who can't really actually stop these things that they want to do, and it kind of just happens, right? So, with that being out there and us learning about it, it's nice to know, you know, that there's more going on than just the feuding of goddesses and gods, and, the humans fighting amongst each other. Not only that, there is clearly a story that we haven't got much of until right now. So that's what kind of like makes me wonder how much is really left of DanMachi in general, just by the way this story is kind of just put out there. Because at the end of the first season, and I'm sorry I'm backtracking, but the end of the first season, to hear Hermes, talk about Bel, and that, Bel was a part of Zeus's like bloodline and stuff like that, and has the potential to become a true hero, it all dawned on me when he brings up this story in general that would make Bel, aka a hero, like point blank 100% to everybody. If he could take out some being that wound up taking out Zeus and her I forget the other part of it. It's her something. Two of them working together, being the strongest, and getting wiped out by this black dragon that we hear about. That, if you know me, I am a sucker for some dragons, and I don't think a lot of you would know that because on my other channel I had a show that I really went into depth on why I like dragons and certain types of ways that the dragons are being implemented nowadays. It's really cool to me. But with that being said, it looks as if we're gonna get, a weird, a weird outside experience of, the overall town. I don't know if it's gonna it should last a while, right? Like, they just got pulled away in a current. Ainz, our sword princess Bel, and Hestia probably should know exactly where they are and be able to just go, oh yeah, we just need to walk in this direction and go home. Like, it feels like this was a good way of keeping our characters out here and maybe experiencing something that, was never really foretold throughout storytelling until, right now, where we might find some like village or desecrated area where the overall battle took place or something. So that would be kind of lame. Like, oh, the one time I hear about the black dragon, I then see exactly what the black dragon has done. But at the same time, it would make a lot of sense, because for some reason it's so taboo for goddesses to leave outside of, or god and goddesses to leave outside of the town. Hence why it was such a mistake on the person watching the gate to allow someone to just, walk out carefree. And not only walk out carefree, it being a goddess that really can't defend themselves. They have no real access to their ultimate power, and maybe they do have a little bit control of it, because we did see that the girls Freya and the owner of the night, were pretty much using their powers to charm, right? Like they were using some type of power. We also saw Hestia was about to use some type of power within the dungeon. So all these different things are indicators that they have some sort of way to tap into it, but they're not supposed to or have a real reason to be doing such a thing, because they're supposed to be training the young ones to be able to handle all that stuff on their own. So with all that being in mind, and how things are kind of just turning out as a whole, we continuously learn, little bits of the story that maybe needed to be kind of more out there, like in the first place. Because to be fair to me, this sounds like a way to end the show, right? We're going to end Belle off by being a hero. And I mean, there's already a movie out for this show, so it's not that far-fetched to think that it's almost ran its time out. And this is me talking from a perspective of not knowing how many chapters and different light novels or whatever they could reference and add to the story. I have no idea, but from what I see and what I've had done to me when I watched animes other times, is if we go from excuse me, if we go from we are just having fun seeing our character grow up, not only just grow up, meeting new people, teaching him new things, and he's seeing it whatever way he wants to see it and taking it however he wants to take it, as information or as a lesson, or a lesson, or just it was nothing, right? So all of the things that have been building up and seeing so far, it's easy to say now that that phase of the show could end with this introduction of a bigger plot out there. I mean, sure, it sounds, dumb that would, make an end to it if they can make something else, really cool come out of all this. And because there was all of these dragons that supposedly, escaped and lived on. One was Behemoth, one was Leviathan, and the other was a black dragon. And the black dragon was the only one to actually survive. And not only survive, completely wipe out Zeus's troops with the help of another Familia. So, absolutely monster. Which kind of brings me back to my point of being like, then if this is the case, what did Zeus have on his team when he went there, and what do they expect out of Belle? And this is me just talking out of like this popping up relatively quick, and we know how fast Belle can rank up. Not only can rank up, we have someone who can literally, if he's rank 5 and the highest rank was 6, I'm just saying, if the highest rank is 6, he could boost up to 6 just because he's already 5 with that teammate, right? With the Yujutsu. So that's the type of stuff that kind of scares me, right? They have a way to make him, there would be a way, an exploit to make him the strongest he needed to be, even though it would cause them bringing her, like she would need to be relatively close for it to work, because we saw how quickly it kind of faded away for the girls that were using it against Belle, and how fast it kind of faded away overall when Belle used it. But I really, really hope that this was just something of them kind of telling us like, hey, we still have plans to drop something relatively big at the end of all this, but for now, just remember that, we're still trying to give you a lively show with some people growing, and like, we haven't really seen any of our team actually do teamwork stuff anymore because of all the conflict and different things that continuously happen within the city. So to know that they haven't just been able to go out and dungeon hunt, or just try to become better at being adventurers and stuff like that, or first of all, the whole show was kind of about completing the tower, right? Like, to actually get and see what the heck is all the floors about. The only show that actually like continued the tower scene was the Sword Princess, right? Like, that was the only time we really got to go into the tower and understand that there's a crap ton of crazy monsters out there that if Bell ever had the chance to fight against him, he might get mopped if he went in as he is now, you know. So, oh, maybe he has a chance now, but if he went in back when we knew about it with the Sword Princess, he would have got bodied. So it's crazy to think about that type of stuff, and that's what I'm truly excited to see, is if they can make more conveying stories without this black dragon that sounds like they just talked up the most biggest game for it of all times, right? They just pretty much put out there that this dragon was, powerful enough to make Zeus and everybody in his familia pretty much get wiped, you know. So there's no higher praise than that, in my opinion, when it comes down to defeat feats in this show that we've heard of so far, besides maybe the guy who's one of the strongest adventurers right now, you know, the guy on Freya's team. So maybe he has something that's more impressive that we could see or hear about as of the recent stuff. But as of right now, man, hearing about a dragon that could wipe out even Zeus's, preparations with a team of another familia who could have had a ridiculous amount of backup and, adventures and stuff. It's crazy to think what happened to those people, right? Or like if those people even exist anymore and remember what happened to them in the Black Dragon. That would trip me out. But we'll see. We'll see. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the DanMachi, and I will definitely talk to you guys as soon as this video ends and I drop another one. Because your boy got 3 videos on the way, and you know what kind of day it's gonna be. So expect some content from me, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.